Hey guys, it is J Star Wars 360 here with another Powerpuff Girls vlog for you. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about these. I've just been really busy. I had Clone Wars Season 6 came out on Netflix, and I just had to do those because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Was waiting for those. And also, I've been really busy with life. Yeah. I'm probably going to say, I have some things I need to say beforehand, so if you just want to hear my thoughts on the episode, I'll have an annotation saying, skip here if you want to hear my thoughts on the episode. But yeah, so first off, thank you guys for being so patient with these vlogs. I know a lot of people seem to really like them. I mean, the views have really, been getting there's like 30 views, each of them have 30 views apiece. There's comments, so I know they're doing well, and I thank you for all being patient, not just getting on me, being like, where's the next Powerpuff Girls vlog? Because there are some people out there who are like that with some things, and I'm grateful you guys aren't. And on that note, I just want to say that as far as like Powerpuff Girls vlogs go, I'm going to try and do one a week, again, specifically on days when Doug Walker doesn't do an Adventure Time vlog. I know I've said this before, but I don't know if everyone's seen that, but yeah. Also, just keep in mind, I do have a life. I am pretty busy with schoolwork. I am in college, and I do have finals coming up, so things are going to get busy, so that probably will affect Powerpuff Girls vlogs. So if I'm not doing video vlogs as often as you like, trust me, things are getting in the way, and it's as hurtful to me as it is to you. And also, Netflix took Powerpuff Girls off of its queue, which sucks because now I have to watch them on I forget the name of the website, but it's of slightly lesser quality, which is a shame because Netflix, the quality was really good. So, unfortunately, quality of future Powerpuff Girls vlogs is going down. So, with that away, let's get into the episode, which is Geshundfight. I have no clue how you pronounce that. I'm pretty sure I spelled it right. But yeah, this is the episode where we get to meet another new villain, the Amoeba Boys. And these guys, they are terrible criminals. They're very much like the Toileteer in that they want to be this really dangerous criminal when really they suck at being criminals. But anyway, they're trying all this stuff. None of it's getting the Powerpuff Girls' attention. They aren't worth their time. So one day they decide to just stand on the grass where there's a keep off the grass sign, and they're standing out there so long it starts raining. They stand out there in the rain and they get sick, and their illness spreads and infects the entire city, including the Powerpuff Girls. And the professor says the Amoeba Boys have the cure, so the girls go after the Amoeba Boys and tell them that they won't fight them because Powerpuff Girls insulted them. Specifically, Buttercup insulted them and said that they're bad criminals, so they don't feel good. So the girls say they're awesome criminals, and they kind of fight them and then bring them back to Townsville. And this episode, honestly, it wasn't a bad episode. It just was nowhere near as good as the last one. The last episode I saw was Octa-Evil, which was a really, really good episode. And suffice to say, I kind of knew that basically anything after this was going to feel really underwhelming. So this episode doesn't even hold a candle to Octa-Evil. By the way, I really can't wait for the next him episode. But I digress. So, yeah, and also this episode was basically the everyone gets sick episode. If you don't watch a lot of cartoons, typically one plot thread that they like to use a lot is have an episode where everyone gets sick and the main character is to find a cure. Even, not that, I don't know if anyone watches this show. I've, embarrassingly enough, watch it. The How to Train Your Dragon TV show, even they had an episode where everyone got sick. So, yeah. So, first off, my thoughts on these new villains, the Amoeba Boys. They're amusing. I mean, I do find it kind of funny of these guys who want to be evil, but they're really bad at it. Again, it's a lot like the Toileteer from Codename Kids Next Door. And again, I do get some amusement of how these guys are doing like these really small crimes like littering or standing on grass. And they think they're being all badass, like, yeah, I'm littering. But really, it's like, it's nothing. So it's funny. Hang on, I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. Commit badass by doing terrible crimes. I just lost my train of thought. it kind of, I was going to say something it reminded me of, but I just blanked out on it. Oh, well, if I remember it, I'll put in the annotation. But anyway, I find it really ironic that the one time they do commit a terrible crime is when they aren't trying to commit a crime at all. They're just going about their business, and yet they're able to infect the entire city. They have the Powerpuff Girls helpless, which is something that I'm pretty sure any villain on the show, including ones I have yet to meet, would love. And yet they are completely unaware of it. They are committing the greatest crime in the world, and they are completely clueless to it. And I do find that amusing. And dang, I can't believe I can't remember what that thing was I want to remember, but I digress. So, also, one thing I found amusing was the design of the characters when they all got sick. It was really interesting and also kind of disturbing. It was like, Aah! And also I really like the delivery of the lines of a lot of the characters when they're sick, like the Powerpuff Girls. Like Blossom's like, Professor. And I also like how the narrator gets sick too. I do like how I love how whenever something happens to the people of Townsville, it happens to the narrator too. Like even though you could have easily just had the narrator removed from the story, yet he's involved in the story. I'm really curious if they're ever don't spoil it don't spoil anything in the comments, but I would be really curious to know if they ever have an episode where the characters interact with the narrator. I think that would be really funny. Yeah. Rocky and Bullwinkle, I think, did that, and I'd be really curious to see if the show did that. So yeah, again, I really don't have that much to say in this episode. Again, the Amiibo Boys are amusing, but I'm sure they're going to do more of them, but I really can't see how much more you can do of them. It's like the Toilinator. It's like, could you really do an episode of Kids Next Door focusing on the toilet? I mean, they did episodes, but usually there's something else involved. I mean, it was very rare they did an entire episode where the episode was the Toilinator fighting the Kids Next Door. Usually he was a side plot in the background, small doses. Like, they almost rarely gave him an episode just solely about him fighting the Kids Next Door, with the exception of the one episode where the villains are all plotting the treehouse plan and Toilinator breaks into the treehouse and thinks the villains are the Kids Next Door in disguise. But for the most part, they kept them in small doses. So, again, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more of these guys in the future, but I really could care less because, again, they're funny, but how much can you really do with these guys trying to be awesome criminals, yet not being awesome criminals? Again, I'm not saying they can or will, but I just don't see it. But, who knows, maybe the show will prove me wrong. So, yeah. Again, amusing episode, nowhere near as good as Oct Evil, but then again, that's a really hard episode to follow up. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, this is JStars360, and I'll see you guys in the next Powerpuff Girls vlogs. Until then, take care.